Hey guys, what is going on? This is Carnivore5, and today I have another roster prediction video for you guys. Now in this video, I've cut down tremendously on the amount of players I'm going to include in this. I'm only going to include players that I think are worthy of tier changes, meaning gold to silver, silver to gold, bronze to silver, silver to bronze, gold to diamond, and so on. I'm also going to try to focus more on the players that you can actually make stubs on. I think a lot of people just want to see their favorite player included in these videos, and unfortunately I think it's kind of a waste of time to include every single player and go over my explanation, so I'm going to try to cut down on these videos. I think last time we had like almost 50. Now we're going to cut it down to about 18 that I think are worthy of tier changes. Now keep in mind, it seems like they're getting in the habit of doing this every 2 weeks, so I'm not sure if that trend is going to continue for next week or not. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with position players. And we're going to start with Eric Hosmer. Again, he hasn't been touched all year. Not really sure why, but he basically needs a contact overhaul. He needs contact first left and right upgrades. He's hitting 296 for his lefties and 304 for his righties. So I think that definitely warrants some small changes to his contact. I think his power is fine for right now, and everything else is fine. I mean, you could get really picky and make the argument that his fielding is overrated according to his metrics, but I don't really think they'll change that. But I do think he deserves gold, and the weird thing is they haven't even looked at him all year, so I'm really curious. You know, if they do look at him, which they should, he definitely should be a gold. Let's go ahead and move on to our next player. Going to talk about another Royal, Mike Moustakas. I'm going to give him a +2 again. He's been in almost all my videos since I started doing this. He hasn't been upgraded since August the 9th. I'm not sure what they even changed on that, but or the last update was August the 9th. But he needs a contact versus righty upgrade. He's hitting nearly 300 versus righties, so you know, maybe give him a +3 to 4 there at least. Contact versus lefty is fine, but I do want to point out that he's still hitting 265 plus the last 3 years. I know he's hitting around 250 this year versus lefty, so I think even that's kind of low, but I'm not even going to touch that. What needs to be changed though is his power versus left and power versus right. He needs upgrades in both of those. Versus lefties, he has a 208 ISO, which I think should be a little bit higher. 200 plus ISO. The power should be in the 70s there. So, you know, you could at least give him a +3, +2 to 3 if you want to be conservative with that. And then versus righties, he has a 310 ISO. I think that warrants a small change, small upgrade to his power versus righties. 310 ISO. I mean, that should be closer to 90 power, but at least give him a +3 or 4. And that should be enough to get him to a gold, so I'm going to give him a +2. I'm including Molina a lot in a lot of my recent roster predictions. Now, they did change him, but it wasn't showing up on that at least, but they changed him a few weeks ago. They actually took down his contact a lot, which is really surprising because he hit 300 plus versus both of them last year, versus lefties and righties. He's still doing okay this year contact wise, and I still think that needs an upgrade. I'm not sure why they were so drastic in that downgrade. Maybe it was because a couple of years ago, which that I know a couple of years ago was weighted, but it shouldn't be as much as this year and last year. Anyways, I'm going to give Molina a +2, contact versus lefties and contact versus righties upgrades. He's hitting 289 versus lefties. And like I said, he's hit 300 plus versus lefties the last, or versus lefties last year at least, not the year before. And he's hitting 275 versus righties this year. So 275, that should be at least in the 70s in my opinion. So maybe give him +2, +3 versus righties there. Power versus left also needs an upgrade. He has 14 home runs on the year, and he has a 277 ISO versus lefties. I think power versus right, I mean, I can accept that. That's fine. That being said, I'm going to talk about Molina just a little bit. I mean, if you actually look at his metrics, it's negative for offense. And that's mainly because of his discipline. He does not draw walks. You could even downgrade discipline a little bit if you wanted. That being said, though, I think there is over a 50% chance that he will go gold, at least in my opinion. For Elvis Andrus, I'm going to give him a +1. He was last updated June 9th, so it's been a while. Andrews could use some plate vision and plate discipline downgrades. He's got a 5.7% walk rate, which is not really too good. Should be under 50 there, and a 16% K rate, so his vision could go down a little bit, just a little bit, you know. And contact versus righties, I think, could use an upgrade. He's hitting over 300 versus righties this year, so maybe give that a +3. But his contact versus lefties, even though he's hit lefties very well the last 3 years, you know, 2 previous years, this year he's only hitting 271. Which isn't bad, so you could almost interchange flip-flop righties and lefties. What really needs to be upgraded for Andrus, though, is his power versus left and power versus right. Or no, just his power. Yeah, both of his powers need to be upgraded. Just a little bit. He has a 206 ISO versus lefties, so I think that should be a little bit higher. His numbers are kind of similar to Molina's offensively, at least, contact and power-wise. So I think that'll be enough to give him a +1. So see, make him a gold with a +1. All right, so this is going to be one of our only position player, gold to diamond, and this is Anthony Rendon. I'm going to give him a +1. I'm going to be even conservative with that. He hasn't been updated since July 21st, so it's been a month. And I think he is deserving a +1 because his contact versus lefties and righties needs an increase. He's hitting 342 versus lefties, 288 versus righties. You could also see him to a power versus lefty upgrade. He has a 329 ISO. And when you start getting over 300, I mean, that should be over 90 power in my opinion. But if you just give him a +5, +6, he should have more than enough points to get to a diamond. And again, I'm going to be conservative and just give him the +1, even though I could see him getting a +2, +3, kind of in that Justin Turner. I guess the one thing slightly holding him back is his 3-year average, which hasn't been bad. But I think there's enough out there, enough points deserving out there to make him a diamond. All right. Next, we're going to look at Jay Bruce. I'm going to give him a +1. He's not been updated since May 5th. Contact versus righties, you could upgrade that a little bit. He's hitting 280 versus righties this year. And the one thing that I think is going to bump him up to a silver is his power versus lefties. He has a 242 ISO versus lefties. And like I said, 240, that should be in the mid-70s, you know, if we're being objective here. But even if we're conservative and just give him +3 to +4, that should be enough to bump him up to the silver tier. Alright, the next guy we're going to look at is Justin Upton. Go ahead and make him a gold. Give him a +1. He hasn't been updated since July 28th. Contact versus lefties needs a huge upgrade. He's hitting 344 versus lefties. And power versus lefties also needs an upgrade. He has a 344 ISO versus lefties. So that definitely could use an increase there. If we want to be really nitpicky, we could even give him a small downgrade to power versus righties. He has a 240 ISO versus righties, which isn't bad. But even if we took away a couple points in the power versus righties attributes, there should be enough out there for contact versus left and power versus left to make him a gold. So give him +1 and make him a gold. Alright, the next guy we're going to look at is Chris Taylor from the Dodgers. I'm going to give him a +4, but that's only if they change his position. He's played most of his innings in left field, and if you change it to left field, it helps his overall because of his hitting, his defense and all that's not the greatest for a shortstop, so that's why it's on the low side, or his overall's on the low side of things. But anyways, he's hitting 309 versus righties, so you could give him a contact versus righties upgrade. Give him a power upgrade for both lefties and righties. 213 ISO versus lefties, so that should be a little bit higher than 59. At least give him 4 to 5 clicks in that. And then for righties, he has a 248 ISO versus righties, so definitely needs a power upgrade. And if all those occur, he should get a +4 and make him a gold. Now, I'm not as confident as this one because they're going to have to actually change his positions. And, you know, they haven't done that. Like Paul DeYoung, McCutcheon, they haven't messed with their positions, and it takes a while for them to do that. So this one I'm kind of iffy on, kind of 50-50. All right, so I wanted to include at least one downgrade in there, and I looked, and I think Jason Kipnis is very well deserving of a downgrade, even though I really like Kipnis as a player. But I'm going to go ahead and give him a -2. He hasn't been updated since June 23rd, and he is trending downward. Contact needs a downgrade overall, and that should be enough to make him a silver. He's hitting 217 versus lefties, and it's already at 55, but 217, it should be well under 50. So even if you take away 5 points there, and 233 versus righties, that should be well under 67. So if you take a couple points from his contact, he's going to become a silver easily. You could also make the argument that his power could use a small downgrade, but I'm not even going to touch that. I'm going to be conservative here. Just mess with his contact, which will bump him down to a silver. All right, we're going to move to pitching, starting with relievers and closers. And we're going to start with Aroldis Chapman. I'm going to give him a -2. Now, I don't think they will make him gold, but I just want you guys to be aware that it's very possible he could go gold this year. So maybe you want to start selling him. I don't know if that's a risk you want to take. We have about a month and a half, even a little bit less than that in the season. So not sure if he will ever go down to gold, but I just want to make you guys aware. His hits per 9 could use a nice little downgrade. 7.8 hits per 9. He's allowing 7.8 hits per 9 innings. That should not be 99. Hits per 9, 99 should be, you know, anywhere from like 4.5 to 5, 5.2. Most of those guys in that range have a 99 hits per 9, at least, you know, when they prove it over the last 3 years. And Chapman has proved it over the last couple years, but this year you have to at least downgrade that a little bit. So take away, you know, 4 to 5 points from hits per 9. And then also K per 9 also could use a small downgrade. Even though it's good, 12.6 K per 9. There's guys out there that have higher K per 9. You know, Corey Knebel, his teammate Tommy Kahnle. Those guys both have higher K per 9, and I think they're only in the 80s or low 90s. So, you know, you could take away a couple points from K-9, maybe 2 or 3. And I think that's going to keep him out of Diamond, though. So I'm just going to give him a -2 for now. Betances is another guy due for a downgrade, even though they recently downgraded him. And he has got his control a little bit better, but he's still walking 6.3 batters per 9 innings. And if you just take his walks per 9 from 43 to 40, that's enough to make him a gold. So just keep an eye on Betances. He is due for a potential downgrade. Asuna is an interesting player to go over. I still think he deserves an upgrade, even though he's blown some saves. I was watching the game yesterday, and his teammates were just letting him down. He was striking out guys. I think he had 2 strikeouts where the runners reached, a couple errors. So I don't think a lot of it is Asuna's fault, even though some of it, you know, you could attribute to Asuna. But I still think he is good enough to make a diamond. I'm going to give him a +3. And he hasn't been updated since June 23rd. But I think his K per 9, home run per 9, and walks per 9 all could be upgraded. His walks per 9 is one of the biggest things that needs to be upgraded. It's only at 51 right now, and he's only allowing 0.3 home runs per 9 on the season. So you could at least make that a +8, +10. If you want to be conservative, +6, +7. And almost that alone is going to be good enough to make him a diamond. However, his 1.2 walks per 9, you could increase his walks per 9 just a little bit, even though if we don't touch that, that's fine. But then something else that needs to be upgraded is his strikeouts per 9, 12.2 batters per 9. He is striking out. And, you know, Chapman had very similar numbers, and you can see he's at a 99. Asuna's only at an 88, so at least give him a +2, +3 in K per 9, and that should be enough to get him to a diamond. I'm even going to say he deserves a +3 to make him a 91, so I still think he has a good chance to go diamond. Archie Bradley. This guy deserves an upgrade almost more than anyone on this video. I'm going to give him a +4. He was last updated June 23rd. Hits per 9 is at 6.5. Definitely deserves an upgrade there, at least 4 to 5 points. Home runs per 9 could use a small upgrade. He's only allowing 0.5 home runs per 9 innings, and walks per 9 could also use an upgrade. He's only walking 1.8 batters per 9 innings. So there's a lot of stuff out there, and he should definitely be a silver. I'm not sure why he has not been upgraded recently. Canely, I'm going to give him a +2. He was last updated June 9th. His hits per 9, you could even make an argument that his hits per 9 could use a downgrade. It's a little high. It's around what Chapman is right now, even a little bit better than what Chapman is. It's a 7.6 for the year, but it's been pretty bad with the Yankees. It's been almost at 10 with the Yankees, at 9.5 right now. So I think that deserves, you know, maybe 2 to 3 points taken off from that. His home runs per 9, walks per 9, and K per 9, however, all deserve upgrades. He's only allowing 0.6 home runs per 9, only walking 2 batters per 9 innings. And he's striking out 14 batters per 9 innings. So, you know, if we looked at what Chapman had, he was striking out 12.6 guys per 9 innings. Well, Canely's striking out 14. And I think when you start to get in that 14-15 range, that should be 98, 99 overall. And I think that's going to be enough to make him a gold, at least a +2. Blake Parker is another guy similar to Archie Bradley that has been long overdue for an upgrade. I'm going to give him a +4. Last updated June 23rd. He's only allowing 5.6 hits per 9, and like I said earlier, once you start getting in that 5 range, I mean, that should be in the 90s for sure, but even just give him 4 to 5 points in the hits per 9. Also upgrade his walks per 9 and K per 9. He's walking 2.5 batters per 9 innings, so that should be a little bit better than the 65. But even if we don't touch that, his K per 9 at 11.2 strikeouts per 9 innings could use a small upgrade, you know, 4 to 5 points, and that should be enough to get him to a silver pretty easily. Doolittle has not been as good with the Nationals, but I still think he deserves a +2. He was last updated June 23rd. He deserves a huge hits per 9 upgrade and a small K per 9 upgrade. His walks and strikeouts has not been as good with Washington, however, so I'm not sure if that'll hold him back. But I think if you look at what he's done for the year, especially with Oakland, I think he does deserve that at least a +1, and I'm even going to say a +2, so go ahead and make him a gold. Mark Melanson, I'm going to give him a -2. His hits per 9 is almost at 11. At 10.9, and his home runs per 9 could also use a downgrade, and that should be enough to make him a silver. Starting pitchers. We don't have too many starting pitchers to go over, only a couple here. And this guy I don't even think deserves a change, but I just want to talk about him some more, Jacob deGrom. I'm actually going to leave him at an 89 overall, and I know that's just, I know a lot of Mets fans out there want to see him go diamond. I just don't see enough out there to make him a diamond. His K per 9 is the one thing that deserves to be upgraded, so if we gave him a +4, even a +5 to his K per 9, you know, that's fine. But his walks per 9 and home runs per 9 could also use small downgrades if we're going to look at this card, if SDS even decides to look at this card. His walks per 9 is at 2.6 walks per 9, and that should be a little bit lower.
and his 1.3 home runs per 9 innings could be a little bit lower as well. So I just don't think there's enough out there to make this card a diamond. If he improves his walks per 9, home runs per 9, or hits per 9 in any way, he has a very good chance of going diamond. But right now, I'm going to say no diamond. But it's almost game to game with Jacob deGrom. But for right now, I'm going to say no change. All right, and the last card I want to go over for starting pitchers is Mike Leake. He's been pretty bad. He was good in April, but from month to month, he's just got progressively worse. And even though his hits per 9 and K per 9 aren't really good to begin with, I still think he deserves downgrades to all per 9s, especially like his walks per 9. He's walking over 2 batters per 9 innings, which isn't bad, but it shouldn't be 84. And he's allowing 10 hits per 9, which I think could even be lower than 59. And go ahead and make him a bronze. So has not just been pitching well at all. So I think definitely he will become a bronze. And that's pretty much going to do it for the video, guys. I know I didn't have as much to go over. And honestly, I looked at a lot of guys like Azuna and some other potential diamonds. And if I didn't include them in the video, there's a reason. I don't think they're going diamond, or I don't think they're going to change tiers. So if your favorite player, or if you think a player might deserve an upgrade, there's one of a few reasons why they're left off. I don't think they're going to change tiers, or I don't think, you know, anything needs to be changed for that player, or I don't think they were significant enough to include in this video. I try to limit the bronzes I include, bronzes, silvers. It's not a lot of stubs to be made from that, but I did include a few in this video, so I didn't want to include too many. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys liked this roster prediction video, and I'll probably see you guys in a few weeks again. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. This is Car Number 5 signing out. Peace.